Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My name is Dr. Imran Hamza Alawi. I'm the author of the Gateway to Arabic series. Welcome to my channel. In this series, I'm going to be teaching you how to speak modern standard Arabic. You may ask, what is the modern standard Arabic? Okay, think about the vast geographical area covered by the Middle East, from Morocco, the North Africa, to Iraq, and back to Yemen in the Arabian Peninsula. You have Egypt, Sudan. There are so many countries. There are 19 countries where Arabic is an official language. There are other countries as well where Arabic is a co-official language. So it covers quite a number of countries. Each of these countries has its own dialect or dialectical or colloquial form of Arabic, which they use locally. Now, but the question is, how would a country like, for instance, Morocco would do business with Egypt or Iraq or Saudi Arabia? Right. They use modern standard Arabic to achieve that. It's a unifying language which is understood across the Arabic speaking countries. So, for instance, this language, modern standard Arabic, is a language of diplomacy and it's a language of education. It's used to teach at schools, colleges, universities, and also it's a language of media. On television, for instance, if you want to understand Al Jazeera Arabic, for instance, you need to learn modern standard Arabic. That's what they use. Newspaper, newspaper across the Arab world, it's used, they use the modern standard Arabic. Literature, novels, so all these. And the modern standard Arabic is a vehicle whereby it gives you access to be able to understand and to be understood when you speak Arabic across the Arabic speaking countries. So it's easy to come from modern standard Arabic because that will give you access also to the dialect, and that's why I will be teaching you some common phrases in the dialect as well. Now, in this series, I will be using transliteration, meaning Latin script to represent Arabic, to make it easier for you. But however, I will also be converting that into Arabic text, Arabic script as well. And for those of you who would like to learn how to read and write Arabic easily, I recommend that you go on the YouTube and search for my previous posting. It's called Arabic from the Beginning Part 1 by myself, Dr. Imran Hamza Alawi. That particular series, so 18 lessons there, would give you ability to read and write, or teach you to read and write Arabic very easily. So I recommend it for you if you want to be able to learn. But in this series, I will concentrate using the transliteration in addition to the Arabic script as well. Furthermore, I will also be calling your attention to some cultural norms, cultural practice in the Arab world. After all, language is a culture. Culture is a language. You cannot separate the two. If you know the culture of the area, of the language you're trying to learn, that will help you to have better understanding of that particular language. So I'll be endeavoring to do that as well. So the series will cover various topics, and each topic will be divided into several lessons as well. So the first topic will be about greetings, some etiquettes, and that's what we're going to start with, inshallah, God willing. So you are in for a good treat. So let's go. Let's speak Arabic. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Welcome to the beginning of my new series, هيا نتكلم العربية. Let's speak Arabic. مرحبا 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 بك. مرحبا, that's mean hello or welcome. مرحبا مرحبا بك. Now, you may notice here that I'm putting this one in blue. Anything in blue, it means you may or may not pronounce that. Generally speaking, they will say marhaba, but you can say marhaban for those who want all the endings, those who want to go along with some grammar aspect of it as well. But you are allowed to stop at this before the blue colors. So marhaban, marhaban bika, that's when you are speaking to a man. So marhaban, hello, welcome. Or marhaban bika, tell it to a man. Marhaban bika, welcome to you. If you are speaking to a female, you say marhaban biki. It will be ki ending. Ka is the male. Marhaban, marhaban bika, marhaban biki. Let's put that one in the Arabic, using Arabic script. So marhaban. Marhaban, that's the first line. Welcome. Marhaban, marhaban. You say bika, speaking to a man, or biki ending, speaking to a woman. So marhaban, marhaban bika, marhaban biki. Marhaban, marhaban. Now, this H is a hard H in Arabic. It's representing this letter, which is an ha. Ha. We need to hear that sound. It's very easy. You're expelling the air. Marh, marh, marhaban. Don't say marhaba. La, marh, marhaban. Marhaban bika. Hence, you put the dot to tell you that this H is a hard H, not a soft H. Now, one of the colloquialisms widely known and understood, which is conveying the same meaning, is a ya hala, ya hala, ya hala, mean ahlan wa sahlan. We are going to come to see it's coming from these ahlan wa sahlan, ya hala, ya hala, ya hala bik. So ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan, again conveying the meaning of welcoming somebody. You're really glad to see them. You are very accommodative towards them. Marhaban, ahlan wa sahlan. So if I say marhaban, you may respond saying ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan bika, speaking, welcoming a man, or ahlan biki, welcoming a female. Now, ahlan, this H, this time is representing this letter, which is ha. That's a soft H. So you don't say ahlan, la, because you're pronouncing this. You need to pronounce this. It's a relaxation. It's a ahlan. That's a soft H. Ahlan is the same letter here. Wa sah. Ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan bika. So let's write that using Arabic script as well. So lan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan. And ahlan bika or biki. Ahlan wa sahlan bika or biki. So this is Hamza, so just ordinary A. But this H is a soft H. أهلا وسهلا أهلا بك أهلا بك. So if I say to you مرحبا, you can say back to me to say أهلا وسهلا. If I say أهلا وسهلا, you may respond by saying مرحبا ومرحبا بك مرحبا بك. So interchanges, you can use them as you like. You can use one for starting, another one for response, either way. Or simply say ya hala, coming from ahlan, ya hala. That's more colloquial. Ya hala, ya hala. Right, let's look at this. The most commonly used phrases to welcome people, for greeting, is this: Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. As, when you see double letter there, that's mean shadda. It's representing the emphasis. You stress on that letter. As-salam. This is a lengthening. Assalamu alaikum. This symbol representing another letter, which is an ayn. I'll write that for you now. So let's represent that as well, using the Arabic script to make sure that you can relate to what we're saying for those of you who can read and write Arabic. If you really want to be able to read what I'm writing using Arabic text, as I said, go on the YouTube and search for my previous series. It's called Arabic from the Beginning. 18 lessons, and that will teach you how to read and write Arabic easily. So go and search for that for me. So, Assalamu alaikum. As we say, As-salam. So we say, As-salamu alaikum. So, alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. This is an ayn. You can see hands representing here like a small c. It's an ayn. It might be sometimes difficult for a European person or a Western learner to be able to pronounce that sound. It's like a strangulation. So assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum wa. And so assalamu alaikum means may peace be upon you. May peace be upon you. Wa, and responds wa alaikum salam, and may peace be upon you as well. So the greeting in the Arab world is a very essential, it's very important, because Arab are very friendly people, they're very generous people, and they take greeting and welcoming people so seriously. So it's very important to know that. So assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. Now, cultural norms here. In many area in the Arab world, with many Arabs, now greeting is obviously, you may be familiar with people shaking hands and hugging. That's fine between the same gender. In the Arab world, majority of people may not wish to have hugging and shaking hands going on between opposite sex, for instance. It doesn't mean that people do not respect, or no. It just it can be dictated by religious practices, for instance. A Muslim person, a practicing Muslim lady, may not wish to shake hands of opposite sex. That doesn't mean that that's do not respect you, or no. It's just in fact it's opposite. They will probably say assalamu alaikum, marhaban, ahlan wa sahlan, touching the heart to say, yes, you are close to my heart. I would love to have you here. You're most welcome. But it's just my religious practice dictates that I do not shake hands, and there's nothing to do with form of respect at all. Some people would do it, but many people would rather not to do that. But between the same gender, people quite commonly hugging each other and kissing. But for the male, they will shake hands. It's a good practice for a male and a male to shake hand when they say Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam, marhaban, ahlan wa sahlan. So it's very useful phrases, this one. Right, let's practice that first before we move to the other section here. So marhaban, marhaban bika, marhaban biki. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. Another thing I want to call your attention here. You may remember I say here bika, meaning you are speaking to a single male. Its ending we say marhaba, marhaban, marhaban, bika or biki. So this symbol or attached pronoun ka indicating we are speaking to a single male, and ki ending is an attached pronoun meaning we are speaking to a female, single female. But this symbol I want you to compare to this kum. Kum ending is also is an attached pronoun, but this is telling us we are speaking to plural, meaning more than two people, 3 and above. That's a plural. Yeah. So kum. Now, when you say Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you, and you only one person in front of you, why is it that we are using kum ending, which is used for plural? The idea behind that is, as a Muslim, we believe that you are not alone. Although we are greeting you one person, we believe that you are surrounded by angels as well. So our greeting is to you and to the accompanying angels as well. Hence we use the plural form of attached pronoun. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. It's a wonderful greeting, meaning now you are now we are at peace, we are in peace with each other. So I pray for you, even though I've just met you. I say Assalamu alaikum, may peace of God be upon you. And the response will be wa and alaikum assalam, may peace of God be upon you as well, and the accompanying angels. Hence we're using these attached pronoun. Right, so marhaban, marhaban bika, marhaban biki, assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan, ahlan bika, ahlan biki. Now, ya hala, ya hala, ya hala. Now, sabahul khair has to mean good morning. So, this symbol, the S with dot, is representing sword in the Arabic alphabet. So let me write that for you and then show you the form of that particular letter. Right. Sabahul khair. Sabahul khair. Sabahul khair and Sabahul nur. Sabahun nur. Sabahun nur. Let's analyze that. First of all, Sabah mean morning. Nur al khair mean goodness. Sabah morning. Nur mean light. So you, if I say to you, good morning, Sabahul khair, you may respond and say Sabahun nur. I may start to say Sabahun nur. You can say Sabahul khair. Or I can say Sabahul khair. You say Sabahul khair. And then Sabahun nur, Sabahun nur. So it's the same. Now, Sabahul khair, Sabahun nur. Look at this scene. S with dot represent sword. Letter sword. So let me just say, right, that's letter. That's the sword. Sabahu, again, that's our ha before. Sabahu, that's a hard H. Sabah, Sabahul Khair, and Sabahul Noor. Yeah, this is your lengthening letter, Sabahul Khair. That's KH together is representing Kha. This letter, that's your Kha. Sabahul Khair. Kha. Sabahul Khair. And Sabahul Noor, because of the shadda on this noon, hence we have these two N. Sabahun Noor. Sabahun Noor. Sabahun Noor. Masa'ul Khair. Masa, that's mean evening. So Masa'ul Khair. This is, let's write that for you. You can pay attention to the individual letters as well in the Masa'ul Khair. So let's write Masa'ul Khair, Mim, that's Sin, Masa'ul Khair. Masa'ul Khair and Masa'un Nur. Again, Shadda, Masa'un Nur. Right. This is Hamza, is a glottal stop. It's a cutting off the more or less like an air. It's a Masa'ul Khair and Masa'un Nur. Because I live in London, there is some in part of London they speak and say bo'o rather than bottle. So that's Cockney. Bo'o. That's they cut off the flow towards the end. Rather than a bottle, say bo'o. So that's a glottal stop. Masa'ul Khair. Masa'ul Khair. Masa'un Nur. Good evening. Good evening. As I said, Al Khair mean goodness. And Nur mean light. More or less we say, may your evening or may your morning be full of goodness. And may your evening good of light and happiness and that kind of thing. So it's always embedded in the greetings in Arabic form of prayer for you. So Masa'ul Khair, Masa'un Nur. Sabahul Khair, Sabahun Nur. One more time. Marhaban, Marhaban bika. Ya hala, Ya hala. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan bika. Ahlan biki. Sabahul Khair, Sabahun Nur. Masa'ul Khair, Masa'un Nur. Again, welcoming people to an Arab home, for instance, another form of cultural norm here to be registered here is it's a very common in Arab world that when you enter to their homes, you will see as soon as you enter there will be area set aside for your shoes to be placed. So you take your shoes off, and you, particularly as a Muslim, when you enter a Muslim home, whether they're Arab or not, it's very common that you'll be expected to remove your shoes and put it in a designated area within the house itself before you enter into the living room. Sometimes they provide the flip-flop or something else to put on to before you enter. So it is just cultural thing to be aware of whether you were entering an Arab person's home. Many will prefer, some they don't mind, but watch out for that. And any other Muslims' homes as well, majority will. Why? Because we use homes as well as a place to pray as well. So that's one of the reason. As I promised, be calling your attention to some of those little points in terms of a cultural norm of the region. Okay, so please, I hope you enjoy this and you learn this for me before you move to the next lesson. It's very vital that we take it easy, step by step. Above all, practice it, try it out, Language is practice and practice and practice. See anybody speak Arabic, try it on them. Yes, you will enjoy. They will like it. Record it for yourself and speak to yourself as well. There's nothing wrong with that. So, inshallah, together we're going to learn this beautiful language. Inshallah, God willing.